We want to have a proof of concept and license out to a company that really focus on ophthalmology. That makes a lot of sense, and that allow us to focus on disease where we add value that are more age-related, like sarcopenia.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Genflow Biosciences CEO, Dr. Eric Leire. Eric, Happy New Year. It's been a good past year for you. Taking a look back at 2025, the dog aging trial was probably your most visible program. What would investors see as a meaningful success when the first data lands in the first quarter of 2026?
Yes, the year 2026 should be a year of catalyst. The closest one is the dog study, you're right. We expect results to close the blind by end of this month. We'll have some first early readout of efficacy. We know the safety has been good, but it's a comparative trial and blinded, so we have no idea of the efficacy so far. We'll have the first readout on the easy endpoint. For the crucial endpoint, I mean the biological age determined by a methylation clock, and for the analysis of the muscle biopsies and the mitochondrial function, it will take a little bit more time to analyze. But we expect to have some very good positive results. So far, everything went well. This trial could be very important for our shareholders because it will trigger a deal with an animal health company, bringing non-dilutive money in the company.
Taking a look at some of your other programs and the progress you've made over the past year on MASH, you've repositioned towards advanced fibrosis, which is higher risk but higher reward. What convinced you the data supports that shift?
Yes. In 25, we saw a major change in the MASH landscape. MASH had no therapies. It's an evolutive disease, and it starts with steatosis, fibrosis, cirrhosis, hepatocarcinoma. 2025 was very interesting because we saw the arrival of two different therapies. It was a revolution in MASH, both the product from Madrigal and the GLP-1. Unfortunately, those two products address early stage MASH, where the disease is silent, mostly. You don't know that you have a fatty liver. It remains a huge unmet need for the advanced fibrosis, for the prevention of cirrhosis, for the prevention of hepatocarcinoma. And then the only competitor remains liver transplant. You know that livers are not really easy to get. When you're on the liver transplant list, you have to wait at least a year. There's 100,000 people waiting for a liver in the US. In the year, 10,000 will die without having their liver transplant. So it's a huge unmet need. We think we have a good shot there. The preclinical data was very positive on fibrosis. This year, we focus on advancing our prevention of hepatocarcinoma. That's a big threat. When you have a fatty liver, it's something silent, it's not a big deal. You have cirrhosis, things becoming very dangerous, but hepatocarcinoma is not good at all. So we wanted to be sure that we could prevent that, and we demonstrated that in vitro and in vivo. That's a big part of our IND package to get the product approved for clinical trial. And that will differentiate us from every drugs that are in the market now, GLP-1 and the resmetirom, the product from Madrigal. That will allow us to have a big chunk of the market, higher price, and not to be in direct competition, but possibly given in combination with the GLP-1 or the resmetirom. So important news for us.
You've talked about licensing and collaborations. What sort of deal would you consider a clear validation of Genflow's platform?
Right now, yes, we definitely try to license out some product at early stage. Early stage deals are typically not what pharma wants. What big pharma prefers is to have a licensing deal at phase 2 clinical trial. We are a small company and we still have a large pipeline. It's a good problem, but it's difficult to finance every research program. So we took a very good look at our pipeline, and we're keeping only the programs where we have an added value. The dog study, for example, we want to licensing. We want to license out to an animal health company. We're not an animal health company. We don't have the expertise that animal health company have in terms of registration and commercialization, contact with the vet. We don't have that. We don't add any value. Perfect example for an early stage licensing. For MASH, the early stage is possible because there's a huge unmet need and there's no product available, especially for late stage. And that allows us to have potential deals. We may consider a global deal. We may consider a regional deal. There's Chinese companies that could be interested. Next week will be the JP Morgan week. We'll meeting with people. We'll listen to them, judge their appetite for these kind of deals. That's the kind of deals we're looking for, early stage. Same thing for glaucoma. Glaucoma, we want to have a proof of concept and license out to a company that really focus on ophthalmology. That makes a lot of sense, and that allow us to focus on disease where we add value that are more age-related, like sarcopenia. It was a long answer, sorry.
Well, Eric, you're in the US for JP Morgan week, so we hope we'll chat with you after that. I hope you have lots of interesting discussions there.
Yes, like everybody, it will be a busy week. We're getting fully full with appointments. We're looking forward to have that meeting again. Again, 2026 should be a year of catalyst. I want to thank our shareholders who have been very patient. We are a regulated industry where we cannot skip any step in the development. We've done our work. Now it's time for harvesting. We're going to JP Morgan to a potential harvest of our results, bringing non-diluting cash to the company.
We look forward to discussing those catalysts with you as they happen. Thank you very much for your time today, Eric.
Thank you very much.
It's Dr. Eric Leire, the CEO of Genflow Biosciences.